Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. My name is Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. You're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And for my financial content, you scroll down past the Oak Island playlist, and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. Today is number 483 of those. Answering your financial questions playlist. Used to do that one on the weekends and may start that up again here soon. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Market report. And let's scroll down so I can see the chat. Oh, we got, looking at it, 24 and 16, that equals 40. And the 0.075 from the NASDAQ, thank you NASDAQ for being barely positive. That's better than being barely negative for sure. And the Russell Small Cap Index, negative 0.34% down. But so overall, good today. Overall up today. And this is why you want to have a balanced portfolio. And you want to do what Dave recommends, which is a four-way split in small, mid, large caps, and international. Let's see what the rest of the planet is looking like. Everything down in Europe, mostly down in Asia. Let's see what that US dollar is, up above the euro, down to the yen. Up above the British pound low, up above the Canadian dollar, sorry, and US dollar is up. US dollar said nar to the Australian dollarmite. Oh, let's see what we got here. Today, analog devices, I don't know what that is, in Carvana. Reported tomorrow, a big one, 7 a.m., so that'll be before the market opens, and probably that would affect something. Walmart tomorrow morning in Booking Holdings. I did not look up what that was. Let's see the most followed single stocks on the Google. Looks like the most up was Tesla, 1.82%, followed by Microsoft, 1.25%, and just barely, just a hair negative was Amazon. That's 0.0088%. So if you were to put that in an actual number and take the percent off of it, you would add another zero to the front of that. Let's see what else we got here. I believe that's it for today. I think Intel came back down today after being up in the mid-teens the past few days. They came back down a little bit today. I think Super Micro was up still. Let's see if that's in the list. There it is. Super Micro up. That had been also up for the past few days, up 15% or so each day, and today a little bit less than that, almost 8% up today. And so that's the dealio on that. Crypto, just every once in a while, just take a look at it, see what it's doing. Not advised by Mr. Ramsey because it's not based on anything, as we just saw. Here, the Intel stock, which would be in your S&P 500 mutual fund, and it would be in your large cap mutual fund. And so that is based on what the company Intel makes. So that's based on that particular business. Crypto is just based on what people who buy crypto will pay for it. And so that's why Mr. Ramsey is not down with the sickness of that, as they say. S&P might have lost the no, it's up today, so it didn't yeah, up today. And if it was at a record yesterday, that means it's also at a record today. All right, cool. 1.8. Oh, in the past 5 days, that was 1.86% up. And yep, that, no, not quite. February, 19th. That is today. That it is, yeah, today's the 19th. Oh, that was the at 3 p.m. and then it took a little dive at the end of the day. 3:30 there, and then not quite at it. Okay, but as far as the day, the 18th, where is it? Come on, there it is. The 18th, 4 p.m. That's the closing, and that's 6129, and it's up higher than that. So that is a new S&P 500 record. And of course, the NASDAQ would not be at their record. Let's see, would they be? 13, 14, 18 is right there. Oh, were they at a record yesterday? I can't remember if they were at a record yesterday or almost at a record yesterday, but it looks like they might be as well. Up 12.19% in the past 6 months. And you can't beat that because you're looking at a minimum. You're looking for a minimum of 10% per year. So that's not bad. It's already got that. And so any extra will just be extra, which is good. All right, from Market Watch, for some stories, U.S. stocks are back at record highs. Is it too late to chase the bull market? And the easy answer to this, the Ramsey answer to this is we don't chase the bull market. You invest whether the market is up or down. You don't try to time any market. Not the stock market, not the housing market. You buy a house when you can afford it, not when you don't wait to buy just because you think the prices are going to go down. Because have people been right about that recently in the past few years? No, they have not been, because it's just been going up. This was interesting. I thought this from Fortune magazine, apparently, reposted on MSN website. Elon Musk mulls giving Americans a $5,000 check based on Doge savings. How about you not do that? I understand that's one way. You'll get some extra votes that way, probably. But how about instead of doing that, how about as long as we have debt, why don't you not give a bunch more money away? How about that? I think that would be great. Yes, have the government spent the money irresponsibly? Certainly. Both sides of the aisle do that every single time. So that has happened. But as long as there's a deficit and you are cutting things now, see, that way, if you were on the baby steps, America would be on baby step 2. And so the idea was, if you can find things to cut, you put that extra money towards the debt, not spending it on something else. Fun times. What up, Sid? What up, Marshall? Oh, let's see if I didn't. All right, we did that one yesterday. We're on reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. That's where these questions come from. And if you want a group run by fans, this is not it. I mean, this is run by fans. If you want a group run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be the Ramsey Baby Steps community on the Facebook. Let's see. This one is Adventurous Bowler 870. I have a full-time job, congratulations, but wanted to slow down and retire soon. We have enough money in savings, CDs, and 401k available to pay off 125K mortgage and all other auto and credit card debt, remaining debt, but will have less than 10K left after everything is paid off, age 64 and 61. We both will be drawing Social Security December 2025 at age 65 and 62. Currently drawing a $4,000 pension as well. House will need a new roof over the next 1 to 9 years. That's a long stretch, dog. I'm unsure what's best. Can the taxes on cashing out 85K 401K taxes be deferred when applied to mortgage payoff? Thanks in advance for your advice. I do not know if that can be deferred for that reason. Let's Google it, and then we'll both learn it. 401K taxes deferred when paying off mortgage, and it is one of the ones that automatically fill in. So somebody has asked this before. Taxes on gains are deferred until the money is withdrawn during retirement years. Okay. That doesn't answer it. To pay off your mortgage. Might make more sense for those nearing retirement wanting to simplify their finances. You must keep in mind the 10% early withdrawal. Well, they are retirement age, so they can take it out without penalty. Let's see. If you're under 59 and a half, carefully weigh the benefits and risk before making a decision. Why is it not good to pay off your mortgage early so you can debt leverage it, which is not the Ramsey advice? How to avoid 20% tax on my 401k withdrawal. Into a new retirement account within 60 days to avoid it. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like you can get that. How does it paying off? Tax deduction. You can no longer deduct mortgage interest from your taxes, which is also not a good reason to debt leverage your house and have more investments as well, because that's just a small portion of the amount that you're paying each month. Taxable income might increase without that mortgage interest deduction, but we don't care about that because you don't need it if your house is paid for. Standard. Smart to withdraw from 401k. Again, you would not do that if you are under 59 and a half. But if you are, I don't see a way that differs taxes. It's not coming up here. And this is why you would also do Roth, so that you don't have the tax problem in your retirement. That's why Roth is prioritized. The only thing that beats it is the match, because that's 100% rate of return. On that, at what age should I withdraw to pay off my mortgage? Let's see. Penalties and higher taxes. It can also reduce your retirement assessments. Okay, it's not an early and might be taxed at a higher rate. Yeah, the 401k, it looks like you're going to have to pay that off based on, it hasn't come up in all this scrolling here. So I would assume that you do have to pay it. So too late for these people, but perhaps get a do Roth for the kids that are watching. Prioritize Roth, and that would be right after you get the match first, of course, 100% rate of return. And then you would prioritize maxing a Roth account. If you can do a Roth 401k, that's fabulous. Do that. What was that song? Fancy. And not the Dolly Parton version. And you know, the house needing a new roof over the next 1 to 9 years, question mark. Just, it sounds like general worry to me. I mean, roofs do break down eventually. They will need to be repaired eventually, but maybe you can, repair it without it actually fully breaking. Maybe there's something you can do to it. Who knows? But you would look into that. But you would not do that. Now, if you had, now the money in the CDs, also you shouldn't have put it in CDs. Should have just had it in regular savings. But you also shouldn't have more savings than $1,000 while you still have auto and credit card debt remaining. You were far too normal. You were doing it wrong. So that puts you in this situation. So any savings you have should be put on debt. It doesn't matter that you're that old, you still follow the baby steps. Exactly. And so you would not be investing anymore all the extra money. Cut down, work more if you can, work, do part-time job or whatever in retirement, and bring in as much money as you can in addition to the $4,000 pension. And all the extra money you have needs to go to get rid of that debt. That's first. So yeah, you wouldn't hit the 401k to do that. I mean, I guess you could, but the problem is you have the other debt as well, and then that leaves you nothing for retirement. So what would I advise these people? It's a good question. If the way things are now, you're not having any problem making your payments, yeah, you just need to put any extra money in the regular savings need to go down to 1,000. When the CDs come up for renewal, do not renew them. Take the money out and apply it to your debt. So yeah, that's rough when you do it wrong your whole life and only end up on the, I mean, 64 and 61 on the Reddit at, well, I guess I shouldn't think that's so weird because I would be on a website like Reddit when I'm old. And so yeah, but that's tough that you did it wrong the whole time, and then now finally you're looking into it. And of course, maybe they were advised incorrectly by somebody that does think you should do debt leverage, as we found when we asked that question about paying off the mortgage. So you're gonna walk the dog while listening again. Oh, what was that song? Oh no, the Walk the Moon was the band, and I can't remember. Was it Keep Your Eyes on Me? Shut up and dance with me. That's what it was. See, I don't have dementia, people. March was sad about mortgage interest rate not being deductible last year, but I was still okay. Absolutely, Marshall. Property taxes go up regardless of house paid off or not. That is true. But they're just trying to defer the money that they would owe for taking it out. March allows her to put her contribution to Roth 401k, but the company match goes into traditional 401k. Right, Marshall. That is part of the tax law that says that the company cannot put a match into a Roth account because they're not trying to let you have all the money in the world and not pay taxes on it. So they are going to make you pay taxes on that 100% rate of return match money. They are going to get their taxes that way. Now, if you were in much better shape, then these people could take it all out and put it into if they were out of debt and had the house paid off, a good thing to do might be to take it all out and pay the taxes on it and then reinvest it if you don't need to use, if you plan on living another 30 years or so, 20, 30 years or so, that money could still grow and you only take out what you need per month, which should be not that much if you have your house paid off and no other debt at all. And they got the 30-year, 7-year arm. So they did all the stuff wrong. Oh no, this is the wrong one. My bad. That's that one. This is a new one. So, but they did a bunch of stuff incorrectly. And are trying to fix it and trying to wonder about it late in life, unless they've tried previously to fix it ended up here because at the Ramsey subreddit because they couldn't get it going there. Motor Shopping 9939. How quickly? Hello everyone. Hi guys. I have a mortgage of about 400K, which is in month 2 of a 30-year 7-arm mortgage, and so no on this 30-year and no on the ARM adjustable rate mortgage. That's a NAR. To do that, it's a 15-year mortgage. If you have to get a 30-year mortgage to be able to afford the payment or to give you more wiggle room, then that's too much house for you to buy. Oh, we make about 350K a year. Well, that mortgage amount should be fine. Only in month 2, so yeah, so that should be fine. What are you spending money on, my friend? Let's see, and I'm wondering, what is a reasonable time frame to prepay the mortgage? As soon as you can. Follow the baby steps, and when you get there, that would be it. That would be the time. Dave says, most people that are doing the plan and being gazelle intense, especially in the early goings, they generally pay it off in 7 years. So it would be right on time for the ARM in that case. But I'm not at the level of rice and beans and rice. We live a moderate lifestyle, take vacation. Okay, so it all depends on your debt. All depends on your debt and what you're willing to do. Dave can only suggest these rules as something to do, the baby steps, as a plan. But you are the one that has to choose to do that. And the more beans and rice you do, instead of living a moderate lifestyle you're talking about, the more you do that, then the faster your mortgage will be paid off. And if you do, maybe you don't take as many vacations as you are right now. How about that? But do not drive luxury cars, watches, etc. Okay. So I'd like to de-leverage myself because we have had a great economic run the last 4 years, but I don't want to assume it will continue. Thanks, Pete. How quickly you do it, as quickly as you can. It doesn't sound like they have any other debt other than the mortgage, but if they do, they would be on step 2, and so they would be doing that first. And then step 3, the full emergency fund. If they already have that, great. They're in 4, 5, and 6. And so all of their money should be doing 15% of household income going into retirement. There's step 4 right there. Step 5, if there are kids and you want to help them, if both things are true, then you would address kid college. And if they're young, very young kids, it doesn't have to be that much per month that you put in a 529 or ESA. Maybe step 6, pay off your mortgage early. And so that's where all your money goes. Now, once you get to step 4, though, you can say, all right, we want to take a vacation, and then you save up cash to do that. Or you know, $350K a year, maybe you can cash flow it, out of 1 or 2 months savings, but otherwise you would just save up for that in a sinking fund. And so you're allowed to put that in your budget in baby step 4, 5, and 6. And Mr. Ramsey doesn't have a problem with that, but if you're taking, vacation every month, I mean, even he doesn't do that, unless you count Fridays. He might actually work this Friday because his book is out this week. So you never know. We'll see. But normally not a Friday worker is Mr. Ramsey. And he was off recently. The longest time in a row he's ever been off, I believe. He's taken a whole month off before. That was last year. But this was more like 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks, something like that. No, 5 weeks, something like that. Anyway, I digress. So that's up to you. When you say, I love Dave, but I'm not at the level of rice and beans, it doesn't matter how much money you make a year. That doesn't determine it. It determines how dumbass of a mortgage you took out. Also, and if you have any other debt, which they did not say. So, I mean, if you guess what? If a Richie has debt, it doesn't matter. They could make $1 million a year. And if they have non-mortgage debt, guess what they start on? Theoretically, they would have $1,000 spent already or saved already. And then any other savings they have and out of their income, everything else would go to baby step 2. And there would be no vacations or eating out or anything like that if they were following the Ramsey advice, no matter how much money you make. It's not how much money you make, it is the situation that you in particular are in. What up, Aslan? With that income focus on paying it off in 3 years, exactly. He sounds like he doesn't want to. He's putting himself. I'm not the level of the rice and beans, and we live a moderate lifestyle. He doesn't think it's too much. It sounds like take vacations. Is that multiple per year? Is that one per year? That's, those things are different. I mean, I would say one 1 week long vacation is fine. And even more than that, if the spouses agree on that. But, every vacation, every extra day you spend on vacation, that's more time than it takes to pay off the mortgage. So the idea is to get to step 7 where your mortgage is paid off early and then you don't have to worry about anything else. Except you not being dumb and going into a lower step again. That's all you got to worry about at that point. Virtual Lab 2286, paying myself $1,000 a month. I have $200K in my taxable brokerage, split between Vanguard and Schwab. Oh, I mean, I would love to know the reason for that, what difference that makes. I would like, well, if one of them screws up, then I'll have the other one. Dumb. I would like to pay myself $1K a month from that for perpetuity. Is that even possible? If so, how do I do it? All invested in S&P 500 for now. So why do you have half in Vanguard and half in Schwab? I mean, is it the FDIC thing? Because that's, was that 225, isn't it? 225K? And so maybe planning for the future for having that much in each one, that could be. But yeah, so how would you do that? In perpetuity, though, I don't know if 200 is enough. Let's see, because that's 200 is going to make it's going to make 20,000 a year. So yeah, you could do that. I think maybe, yeah, because the 12, so 20%. I mean, 20K. Excuse me, 20K a year is what that would give out, what that would generate. And then so 12K a year is what you'd be paying yourself. So yeah, you could do that. The only problem would be is if the average didn't work out one year and it didn't make that much, but you would still have that much. You got a lot of leeway in there as well. So theoretically, based on the history of the S&P 500, you would not have any problem doing that per month out of that. You would have to pay the taxes as well, so it's going to be a little bit less than $1,000, or you have to take about a little more than $1,000 to account for the taxes as well. And as always, if you just do the S&P 500, yes, you can just throw it in 2 brokerages like you did and never have to think about it ever, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not investing in managed funds. But again, this is a brokerage account, so, and also this kind of crap you would not do until you were in baby step 7 either. You would also pay off your house first before having extra investments like this. You would only be doing the 15% investment for retirement until a house is paid off, but we don't know if there's a house or anything else at this. So just gotta make the best guess you can sometimes. If they're only invested in SP, they can expect about 6 after inflation. So 12 to 14 a year. Right. That should be 6 to 7. Gotcha. Sid is back. Watch did not record the steps though. How dare it? Any idea why? This is throw RA 90012. Okay. Is that another California zip code? Looking for advice. 24 man, 97K pre-tax income with an additional 20 to 30K home from overtime. Okay. Currently owe 25K on a vehicle. You doing it wrong. Have 3 months of emergency fund. You doing it wrong. And 15K in 401K investment. You're doing it wrong. So I feel like for me, the next step is buying a house. No, the next step would be assume you have 3 months emergency fund, so you have the $1,000. So you would take out of the emergency fund. And, sir, did you look at the baby steps for longer than 2 seconds and read each one for 2 seconds and then just apply it to your life like a lot of people do? They say, oh, save $1,000. Yeah, I got that. Pay off debt, smallest to largest. Yeah, I'm working on that. Baby step 3. Oh, I got that. I got that much in savings. And, and then they don't think anything else. And they think they're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Or even if they would even think that they would do them this together at the same time. So, but you're doing it wrong. Sorry about that. Have found a house near me. So you're not ready to buy. You got to pay that 25K off first. If you have any other debts, those have to be paid off first. Then you have to replenish the emergency fund. And only then do you start saving for the down payment. Very high cost of living. You're going to have to save for a much larger down payment then, apparently. And that's how we handle that when we don't make that much money, only less 127K. So that's when you would, it's going to take some time. So that's not going to happen now. Doesn't matter what you feel like. Let's go with what the reality of the situation is. Mortgage would be $1,400. How much is the house? Doesn't say how much the total house is. Let's see. So, bam, 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 bam. So 100, assuming that will make up for that. So that's gonna be about 70,000 a year. So 140 and 35. So it's like $175,000 house. So mortgage would be $1,400. That better not be on a freaking 30-year mortgage, sir. And I would be using the VA loan. My family is saying now isn't a good time to buy. They don't know that it's not going to be better. So, I mean, if your family is not, a financial planner or anything like that, if they're saying things that they heard on the news, that's dumb. Okay, you shouldn't. It doesn't matter that they're family. That's dumb. If they're just repeating stuff that they heard on the news. Now isn't a good time to buy. You buy when you can afford it, not what the market says. You don't try to time any market. Said that once before. You don't try to time the stock market nor the housing market. Due to my job going through layoffs. I mean, it can always be something that, I might get fired. Oh, this might happen. This might happen. That's always going to be like that. Let's see. The perk would be I'm going to school. So that's got to be paid for too. Getting $3K per month for living expenses from my GI Bill. Okay, so maybe not. That's free for them. Great. He or she. And that's great. Would I be better off investing that, or would I be better to put it towards the house? I would be able to put $5,000 a month on the mortgage using it You know, again, I always say this, trying to do everything all at the same time, having debt still, doing the baby steps wrong, also wanting to buy a house, also while going to school, even though GI Bill makes the school free, you still could have related expenses from that. And then also you want to invest and you want to do that all at the same time. You are limited to the funds that are coming in, sir. So I would have to have much more information than what you have provided in order to tell you what's going on. But basically, it's always you follow the baby steps. You reduce your 3 months of emergency fund down to $1,000. And so you see, you change your situation to fit the baby steps, not you apply your situation to the baby steps and change the baby steps with your situation. That's not how it works. You're doing it wrong. Investing 15%. I just mentioned that. LHFUWW. All right. Investing 15%. What a baby. On baby step 4, congratulations, has figured out the baby steps. That is when you start to invest. That's 15% of your gross household income into retirement. On baby step 4, make approximately $68,000 a year. I just started my retirement journey. I just opened a Roth IRA. I max out at $7,000 per year. I am confused how else to invest for retirement. 15% would be just over $10,000. My employer does not offer a 401k. Can anyone explain or point me in the direction of this information? Thanks. And so you can do an HSA if you have a high deductible healthcare plan. You can do an HSA and you can put money in there. And then you can cash flow instead of using that money for medical expenses. You can just cash flow medical expenses and you can use that HSA, health savings account, as a retirement vehicle. Beyond that, you would be brokerage account, where that's not tax advantage because it's not a retirement account. On the plus part, you can take out the money anytime. You just have to pay taxes when you do take that out. On the Roth, you don't. And the Roth, you would not ever take that out anyway. That is only to be tapped at retirement to live on in retirement. All right. Good question. Yeah, not every company offers the 401k. Boom, 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 boom. Byum, 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 byum. Was your watch too cold? Aslan wants to know. That's a good question, Aslan. I have a lot of debt now. I'm going to school, so I feel like the best option for me is to take on even more debt. Yeah. Aslan, you've forgotten to throw in the for me when you do feel. I feel like for me. Very important. You'll get it one day. Let's see. When I got in the house, I looked. It said tap the screen to track steps. I've never seen that before. Oh, they did an update to it. Maybe they did an update to the app. It's not giving me any alerts about the battery or the cold. If anything, I think the sparkle in my sweater tapped things while walking to disable things. Oh, because that's happened before. See, and people don't think sparkles have a downside. That does happen sometimes. Falcon clan. All right. I'm scared. Okay. Of what? And it's going to be a long. I'm scared about how long this is. And not that long. Let's see. We'll try to get through it quickly. This is a splash of a rant. Okay, and definitely a cry out to my fellow baby steppers. We were moving right along. That's from Muppet movie. Footloose and fancy free. Along well with baby step 3, had about $10,000 in savings. Then December 12th, I was fired. Got a job December 13th. Fabulous. Asked to start middle of January. because we had savings and other income. Yeah, you don't want to wait until it's too late. It sounds like you waited too long for that because you had savings and other income, and then all kinds of other hell started. I give what happened. And then the monkey rich hits hard. Yeah. I have 3 children from my previous marriage. The children's mother is no gem. We were expecting the children on December 20th, 26th for Christmas. My wife and I live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. The children lived in Hotlanta, GA. Tickets and Christmas gifts all bought, everything arranged and budgeted for appropriately. I wake up December 14th to an email from the emergency room stating that my 3 children checked out fine for foster care. Turns out their mother was arrested. That sucks horribly. Long story short, we fly out December 15th for court, fly back with the children December 18th. The last minute travel changes with hotels, eating, and rental car hit savings hard, like $5K hard. Yeah. I mean, I would consider that an emergency if you have to go get your babies. Maybe you chill on the hotels. Maybe you get very cheap ones. Maybe you eat cheap. And rental car, I know all that stuff costs money for sure. And so, yeah, but that does sound like an emergency to me. So, let's see, we get through the holidays, fully expecting unemployment to get approved because my employer said they wouldn't contest it. They lied. Okay. So you couldn't start on... You were going to start on the middle of January. Why didn't you do that? Oh, you was fired. Okay. And you... Oh, so, yeah. So when you stopped working, you were counting on money to come in from unemployment, too. Because you didn't start the other job yet. Okay. And so that was a mistake on your part. But as far as the kids... That's an emergency, and that's what you need to that's what the emergency fund is for. And so now you got to replenish it. Yeah, it sucks, but it would suck more if you didn't have that emergency fund money. On top of it all, the new job is slower than molasses. Currently, I'm in HVAC, and while it got cold, it didn't get much business. I'm scared, y'all. I went from 2K a week to 1K a week from primary income. And both my cars are dying, and we're down to $1,100 in emergency savings after last-minute medical bills and such. I'm asking for hope here. You have to get another job then. If you are not, look for a different full-time job and do a side hustle while you're doing that. Are you the only one working? Does your new wife work? I mean, I guess somebody has to stay with the children, depending on how old they are. Oh, wife job hitting her hard on hours because she has to pick up the kids, right? And she now has to work. All this stuff is adulting. So, and this stuff happens. And so you just got to deal with it. You were in much better shape than most other people because they don't have an emergency fund, and you had the almost all of yours done. Sounds like. And now you don't, so that sets you back. Yeah. And now you got to work to make enough. Yeah, you got to work enough to make enough. Money facts, no debt. Okay. VA disability, $2,500 a month. Wife work, $1,250 bi-weekly, and your work, so you can work on top of it, on top of the disability. So where's all the money going? Will increase drastically during the summer, but I'm worried about February, March, and the first half of April. Mortgage $3K, include escrow. If that's too much house for your income, maybe you got to sell it and move down in housing. Are we going to make it without diving back in the hole? You are the one that decides if that happens. And I humbly ask for prayers from anyone out there willing to for us. I most certainly am. And I hope everything works out. But you are also in partial control of that. You also can, again, you can cut your budget And especially when you are in situations like this, that's when you would be more susceptible. Most people would be more susceptible to doing the oh, we deserve it thing because of all this stuff that's happened. We deserve to spend this extra money on eating out when we cannot afford it. And so you just got to be careful on that. But yeah, you gotta get that income happening. And if that's too much house for you, didn't give the details on it. That's too much house. Sorry. Gotta sell it. Move down in housing. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Yes, so downsides of sparkles and glitter, as in confirms. Didn't buy the sweater though. It was a hand-me-down. All right. Aslan out. Make some dinner and start working. Enjoy working. Get that intern I told you to get. Hey guy, number 2. Help me find a specific topic from Dr. Deloney. I don't think there's a Dr. Deloney database. There's probably clips from him. So you could YouTube search John Deloney and then whatever the issue. You could try that. Well, let's see. I can't remember if the caller. Oh, it was a specific call. So, you're trying to find the actual show. Yeah, that might be tough. Was that a woman needed to let her husband be the man of the house and fix things? From what I recall, the wife always consulted and asked for help from her dad, and that whatever her dad says goes, and that the husband felt insecure. Yeah, this is not my purview. But I can give advice just like anybody. I don't have the 2 PhDs to go with it or any training in counseling and stuff like that. But I would say you any spouses in any marriage have to compromise on things. And if he would like to do that instead of it getting to a problem area, he should have mentioned that to his lovely bride early on, like the first time that happened, where he felt like that, and he could learn to try to deal with it more, but she could also ask him for help sometimes instead of always running to daddy. So you could compromise on that, and if there's a problem doing that, then that's when it's time for counseling. Communicate, compromise, and if you can't do those 2 things, counseling. Let's say he's not able to do because of his wife. I'm in a similar situation where I take a back seat to my father-in-law. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that's, just like I said, you can look for it, but it's hard to find things like that on a particular show unless you remember exactly when the particular show was. There's no database of each call on each show, not even for the Ramsey show. And so there certainly isn't one for the Good Doctor show. Hoping to expect 5 years into rice and beans, and I'm exhausted. Well, it shouldn't take 5 years. If you were keeping cars or a house that made it take 5 years, then that's a problem, and that's on you. We've been on baby step 2 for 5 years. 5 years of emergency after emergency, 3 babies, 3 jobs, and more side hustle than I can remember. There's an A there, not a THE. We are down to the last 60K ETA in December 2025. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. There could be another emergency. You also have to make sure it is an emergency and not just something you want, something that's optional, that just came up. If something coming up doesn't mean it's emergency. Because you forgot to budget for Christmas, that's not an emergency. So you got 1 more year. So it should not have taken that long. There would have been some other problems other than 3 babies. And I mean, you changing 3 jobs. Who knows what's involved in that? But that's not a problem with the baby steps. You know, you could just be the most unlucky person in the world, and that is going to affect your progress on the baby steps and make it take longer. So that's just the reality of it. But you have to be willing to do what it takes to make it go faster. The pace is killing me. I work 80 to 100 hours a week. Is it really worth this to be debt free? Baby step 2. Yeah, you did it for 4 years. You can do it for 1 more year and then it'll be done. How about that? And maybe this year you won't have any emergencies. And if that $60 is on a freaking car, sell this freaking car. Alrighty. Big Tap 9822. What step are we in and what should I prioritize? Oh, good. People that can't figure out what step they're in. This is just like I was talking about. They think because they have $200,000 in savings. No, that's what they make. But like say they have a whole bunch in savings already and they're already investing. Then somehow they think they're not in step 2 if they have a car loan. So I don't get that. I don't understand that. I guess it's just not wanting to think of yourself as being a baby step 2 person. Sorry, yar. Let's see. We're both 34. Let's see how hard it is to figure it out. Make around $200K each. Our home is worth $750,000 and we owe $290,000 on it. 12 years left at 1.97. 15-year original. Great. Mortgage, got 2 rentals, 305K and 26K income for about 1.1K a month after expenses. I owe 180K. So this would be the problem. If you need to put money elsewhere, if you're not on step 7, you would not be having rentals. Your home mortgage would be paid off on step 6 before you would do any rentals. So how you do this, instead of trying to make your life work with the baby steps, you apply the baby steps to your life and then you sell these. Maybe you only need to sell one. What do you owe? You owe 290 on it. Is there any other debt? Max out 401k. I mean, this is step 2 debt is your rentals. I mean, because that's business, toy, all that stuff. You shouldn't take that stuff out. You shouldn't do business stuff with loans. No mortgages except on your primary residence that you live in. Max out 401k. So and you can still keep doing that if you sell one of the houses, probably. If there's no other debt, again, if it's just the 290 that you owe on your house, then you can sell the 305k, or if you'd rather sell the 260k and then you just have to find 30,000 somewhere to add to it, you can do that. And so then you only need to save one of them, and then you would already be basically right there. And so you wouldn't have to change anything except you would have less debt, which is the idea. And then you wouldn't have your 2 rentals, though. You'd only have 1. Sorry about that. If you want to follow the Ramsey advice, that's the way it goes. You don't get to do whatever you want to and also follow the Ramsey advice. It doesn't work like that because people want to debt leverage like this person does. 100K rollover IRA, that doesn't matter. None of that matters. What you should prioritize is paying off the debt, your debt on your mortgage, your residential mortgage, and you would sell one of your rentals to do that. Oh yeah, then that's not what you can get out of them either. So probably you have to sell both of them then. Let's see, 180 on one. On the bigger one, so 180. So that is 125 from that one. Yeah, so you're going to have to sell both of them. And so that's 1, 2. Yeah, and probably still come up with a little bit more. But then you would have your residence paid off. 400K in brokerage accounts. Yeah, that's a no, no, no until step 7. So might be new to the baby steps. Who knows? But that's a no. You don't have extra savings other than the emergency fund and the retirement investing. That's all you have while you still have a mortgage. So they did it wrong. They did it very normal. And so that's to be expected. And 100K in high yield savings account. We use credit cards but pay them off in whole. That's not advised either. No credit card debt, just 3 mortgages, paid off some other stuff. Let's see what it was. I didn't realize. Boo, boo, boo. Paid off cars. They're old, dependable, great. Paying more towards our highest interest property, but have decided to invest that in equities instead, and that's wrong. You are not supposed to debt leverage your residence to do that. Edit new baby incoming. I don't know if that matters, but I heard they're expensive. Yeah, you would just be piling up cash to do that. So you sell the rentals is the answer, and maybe you keep that because you're on stork mode, and that means you wouldn't be paying off debts. You would just be paying the minimums on them, and so maybe you don't do that quite yet. But I mean, you can sell the 2 rentals right now. You can liquidate the 400,000 in your brokerage account. You can liquidate that and do it, and you don't even have to liquidate at all. So you would be fine. You just have to not do things the way you want to do them. But you're on step 2, my friend. Sorry about that. Because you're not supposed to build business with debt. You're not supposed to debt leverage your mortgage in order to have rental properties. That's a NAR for Mr. Ramsey. So give him a break for not being able to figure it out, because thinking, oh, well, mortgages are only on baby step 6, and that's a no. That's for only the one that you live in. So give him a break on that, because it doesn't say that. You got to pay a little bit of attention to figure that out. Alrighty. Oh my goodness, has it been an hour already? Where does the time go? All right. Once again, you're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. If you want more of my content, you can just, financial content rather, you can just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist, and you'll see the Ramsey Show Aftershow show and the answering your financial questions on the music playlists. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. They are pretty cool. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I tell you what, you learn the words and then you can sing it, and certainly record yourself if you can sing it better than me. And if it's good enough, I'll play it on the show. How about that? Alrighty. And what you can do is, if you have money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. If you have any financial questions about the coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, you can do that at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. To CashApp, $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, that would be this stream, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, and I start at 5:25 p.m. each day, Eastern time, and that's when the Ramsey Show leaves the YouTube, as their last hour is exclusively on the Ramsey Network app. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much if you have done those things already. Much, much appreciated. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.